And good Wednesday morning. Welcome back to GBN Live. I'm Todd Cartner, your host, and we are so excited today to be back with you. We want to thank our sponsor, Grand Strand Law Group, who has offices in Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach. You can reach them online at grandstrandlawgroup.com, or you can reach them at 843-492-5422, I think is the number. Is that right? 5422. It's been a while since I've said it. Sorry about that. If you're watching live today, make sure you ask your questions and your comments so we can get those on air. Don't forget to give Facebook your permission so that we can do that as well. Today we have with us Lynn Beard, who is with our Sumter BANG Chapter. She is with Roof Rejuvenate, and she's going to be talking about some alternatives to get your roof in good shape and lasting for years to come. So stick with us. GBN Live will be right back after this message. All right, guys, welcome back. We have with us Lynn Beard, who is with our Sumter BANG Chapter. So thanks for joining us, Lynn.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, she's only been a member for about 3 or 4 months now or whatever.
Sir.
So, but we're so happy to have you here with us today. So tell us a little bit about yourself first, where you're from,
Sure.
That kind of stuff. Family?
Sure. I'm originally from Tennessee, near the Nashville market. So, but I'm relocated. I'm a therapist by trade and have recently become a business owner a little over a year ago, and joined GBN in, I believe it was February of this year. And I have 3 children. And I have more than 1 dog. I'll just say more than 1 dog.
I do too.
I'm a
so
pet
yeah.
lover. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, that's cool. So tell us about Roof Rejuvenate and how it got started, how long it's been in business, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so initially we started as an asphalt pavement rejuvenator in Canada. And some of the larger markets in the U.S. are now using it. That's been over 15 years ago. The founder of the company decided to modify it for asphalt shingles, and it does tremendous work. It rehydrates, it replaces those petroleum-based oils with a natural soy-based product, and it greatly slows the granule loss, that protective grit that's on top of the roof, and it also rehydrates because with temperature changes, especially in South Carolina, it is so hot here, and the roof has to be able to, shingle has to be able to contract and expand. It may be 40 in the morning and 85 in the afternoon. So it restores that flexibility back. It also reseals the tabs where the shingles go down on top of one another when they need to be able to seal, because high winds put them right off the roof when they get dry and brittle. So
yeah, and it's funny because we were talking about it before the show. I was at a chapter meeting at our Oceanside chapter yesterday, and Josh, the roofer there, he was doing his presentation, and he was talking about if the shingles are not lined up correctly, they can even slide out.
Correct.
So you're right. I mean, I guess the first process is making sure you have a good roof.
Correct. And that's one of the things that we do is we go up and we do a real assessment. We take pictures. If necessary, we take videos. We will look around all the flashings around the chimneys, flashings, wherever you have flashing that's an additional, there's a little metal seal that goes around different areas, dormers.
Where most of your leaks happen.
Correct. Most of them happen there. Also, they happen through little nail pops. So nails will pop up and they push that shingle up, and that rain gets down into that hole there and around boots as well. Any kind of an exhaust boot that goes like a rubber boot or a metal boot, that's also a point of entry for rain. So we go do the assessment. If you decide you want to do the rejuvenation, we do the tune-up. We go around and we seal all those places down. We do an annual review if you want to do that. It's a small fee, and we guarantee it for 5 years. We come in, we put the asphalt rejuvenator on that shingle, and we guarantee that it will stay flexible and very close to new for the next 5 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So the product itself, so this is a little different. This is not replacing a roof.
Correct.
This is extending the life of the roof.
Right.
And so the product itself comes from soybean oil.
That's
is that
correct.
right?
Yes, sir.
And so tell us a little bit about that. And then you mentioned that it started with asphalt driveways or asphalt.
Correct. Roadways.
So does I'm going to skip ahead here a minute.
Yeah.
Does the companies that go out here and do our major roads and things, do they actually use this product?
In some of the larger cities, they do.
Ah.
It's not everywhere yet, but it's not in South Carolina. If you've driven here, you know that. We can joke about that, right? We know that.
Pothole state.
Right.
That's our state bird,
Right.
is a
That's right.
pothole.
That's right. But it has been used across Canada in places like New York, Illinois, Chicago area. Like, it has been out there for some time, for over 15 years, closer to 18 years actually, and it does a great job. And when you see this process, when it's so simple, but in the past, if you had an issue, if your roof was drying out, if it was cracking, if it was brittle, you had one choice: tear it off and start over, right? And that's very costly. We are about 20%, 15 to 20% the cost of roof replacement, and you can do it
awesome.
every 5 years for 15 years. So it really is a good way for you to protect your investment. And I say it's roof maintenance, but it does come with a guarantee, and it's transferable to the next owner. So if you're here for 5 years and you're moving close to your grandchildren or your children, or starting a new adventure in your life, that's okay.
That's pretty cool.
It transfers over to the next owner.
As a realtor, that's a great thing to offer to suggest to clients that are listing their house for sale. Correct. As well. If they don't have the money to replace the roof, then have something like this done, and they can prove to the buyer that, hey, we just extended the life. That's pretty neat.
Absolutely. And also, we've had inspectors who go out like, whatever, and they go up and look at it, or maybe it's been inspected and it was really dry, and they're like, you probably need to do a replacement on it before you sell it. And then we would come in behind them and end up selling the inspector, who was somewhat disbelieving of the product once he saw it, because when you do another inspection, you can't really tell the age of the roof unless there was great damage to it. It rehydrates it. We did a 30-year roof recently. It was like right around 29 years. We figured it up with the homeowner, and he couldn't believe it, the difference that it made.
That's great.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about as a homeowner, how can I tell that I'm losing granules, or that, I guess I would say, how do I know that I need your service now?
Right. So if you have a roof that's 8 years old, we say usually around the 8-year mark, you want to get it inspected, take a look at it, because chances are it is starting to dry out. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to take our word for it. We'll take pictures, we'll take videos, we'll show you what your gutters look like if they're full of grit.
Right.
As soon as we go on the roof, those are things we're looking for. Any kind of cracks or displacement of the shingles. And you can see, for the homeowner, typically it's going to be, you're going to notice that it looks dry, you're losing your grit. If you have gutters, you may not see it until it's too late. So if you want to do the assessment, call us and let us know. But if you were to go on your roof, if you're that brave person that likes to go on your roof, you can go up there and take a look. And when you see black pitting, look for the grit loss around the edge of the house, or look for it in your gutters, because it is starting to shed. And I tell everyone, once the grit starts shedding, it does not stop, and it is accelerated by wind and rain.
Sure.
The elements. So
we have those wonderful spring and summer storms here,
right?
And tornadoes, or not tornadoes, but hurricanes.
And we always say, before the rains and hurricanes, rejuvenate, because it will reduce your risk of losing your shingles. Another telltale sign is if you're starting to lose shingles, that means that seal tab that puts those shingles against one another, holds it firmly in place, has dried out. Once those seal tabs dry out, we reactivate it with the oil. Once they dry out, they're whipped off with the rain and the wind.
So what does it actually look like when you put the soybean on it? I mean, what does it actually do? I guess.
So it's a pretty clear application that we do. It's not colored. It may be a little bit of coloration, but not really. But what it does is it takes your roof closer to how it was when it was new. So if you had a black roof and it turned gray over time, it oxidized with the wind and the rain, we bring that back. We make it more supple again, and it will darken. And I have photos of that on my website if you'd like to look at that.
Yeah. We'll get to that here at the end and tell everybody where they can go.
Yeah, it does bring back that look. It makes it look newer and fresher. And again, if you are struggling, if you see black streaks on your roof, that's algae. If you see a green substance that's thick in spots, or maybe in large areas of swaths across your roof, if you see that green moss, those are things that will deteriorate your roof, and they will cause you to have to replace prematurely. So, and then if you see lichen, it's a greenish white material that's sort of misshapen around the edges, and it's kind of rough textured. If you see that on your roof, our application will smother out all of those things that are damaging to your roof. It takes about 4 to 6 months. You will still see them for that first 4 to 6 months, and then they'll wash away with the rain. If you want to have a soft wash prior to that, I can recommend someone to come out and do that for you as well. And then
would it be good to have the soft wash done before the rejuvenate?
It's up to you, really. I mean,
Yeah.
the majority of my customers are happy with just the product and knowing that in 4 to 6 months it'll look very close to a new roof. Some folks want to go ahead and get it cleaned up, and that's fine. We understand that too. But if the goal is to save your money and save your roof, rejuvenation will do it.
Yeah, we were talking before the show about one of my neighbors that got up there with a high pressure pressure washer, and so he doesn't have any granules left at all.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
He actually forced himself to have to replace the roof sooner than later.
Correct.
I guess. So that's kind of funny. So so talk about the inspection process. We talked about some of the things they look for, but how long does most of the houses here in this area are 1,800 to 2,000 square foot.
Right.
So how long would it take to inspect those, and what are they looking for specifically, other than just the granules and maybe some of the, I guess, fungi that's growing that you were mentioning? But what are they really looking for that determines, yes, we need to get this done?
Okay. Yeah, that's a great question. So we're looking for cracked shingles that are loose, shingles that have disconnected from the other shingles that are just kind of loose and hanging around there. Because again, they're susceptible. High winds will take them right off the roof. And we're going around very carefully. Our assessment goes around any kind of flashing, any place where we know boots, that the water may be, that may be a point of entry for the water. So sometimes it's a very small place where maybe you've had the flashing sealed, maybe your roof is 8 to 10 years old, and that sealant is drying out that goes around that flashing. And if you can get your fingernail there, like there are small spots where we can see that this is a problem. So, if nothing else, we may just go up and do a sealant for you if you don't need anything else. But we're really looking at making sure that we stop those points where the water can get into your home, because it can cause serious damage. It's much better to catch it on the front end than it is to have to worry about playing catch up after it's come through. Because typically how you find out you need a new roof or you need a rejuvenation is when you look up and see a spot in your roof, and by that point it's on the interior. So then it's more costly.
Or water starts falling through your living room.
Correct.
Which is funny because I showed a house. I sold a house here recently. In the home inspection, the inspector, I always attend my inspections as a realtor, but at the home inspection, the inspector said, "Todd, you got to come up here in the attic." And I'm like, "What?" And he said, "Come up here." So I went up in the attic, and they had some type of a drain pipe. They had remodeled the home. They had a drain pipe, and where the drain pipe extended through the roof, they just put shingles right over the hole and never patched the hole.
Oh.
And I'm like,
wow.
Be careful what you when you hire somebody, make sure that they have good references. But so we talked a little bit about how it's going to rejuvenate the color and bring that back.
Right.
How long does that process take if we come out here and say, "Hey, I want you to do my 1,800 square foot rectangle home, nothing crazy," or whatever? How long is it going to take? And then how long will that process take to dry and make sure that we're good to go, I guess is how I would say it.
Yeah. So 1 to 3 hours usually on a typical size home. Obviously if there's a lot of detail in there and a lot of getting off and on ladders, it may take a little bit longer, but generally 1 hour to 3 hours to do it. It will be dry and so it will be soaked in within 45 minutes. So we just need 45 minutes before the rain. Now you'll see a change over time, more and more over the next, week or so, but it's cured within the hour. You can have rain and not have to worry about it.
Well, we don't want to wait till the last minute and say, "Hey, it's raining at 3 o'clock today. Lynn, I need you to come over here and do my roof this morning before noon."
Yeah, it needs to be dry and it needs to be 41 degrees and rising. So, and in this area, we can pretty much do rejuvenations most of the year round.
Well, that's good. That's pretty good. Well, hey guys, if you remember, if you have any questions, to type them in the comments, and we're going to come back with Lynn here in just a little bit. And when we come back, we're going to talk about how some of these products that she has, or the product that she does, how it can extend the life of your roof with even more things that are exciting. So stick with us. GBN Live will be right back.
Hi, I'm Justice Ann. I've been a canine liaison at Grand Strand Law Group for, 30 years? What's that? You don't believe me? I meant 30 dog years, of course. First rule of lawyering, read the fine print. Anywho, my humans at Grand Strand Law Group have a combined 20 years experience. I know, not as much as me, but that's in people years. So yeah, still pretty impressive. Real estate, estate planning, or probate, you need GSLG.
Grand Strand Law Group. Trust us, we have a dog.
Great Business Networking grew out of the idea that by creating lasting friendships within the community, we can make the community even better.
I was looking to network with professionals and to be able to refer my clients to somebody that I trust.
Well, it's really important to trust the members of the group because we really generate quality referrals, and to know somebody, be friends with them, and get that qualified referral is the key to success.
It is networking, but it doesn't feel like networking, and that is important to me. I come to the meetings, I have fun, I make great connections, and I help grow my business.
GBN, these are some of the best professionals in the market, and having that resource available to me, that's priceless.
Well, GBN is a network of business professionals that build long-lasting friendships that will not only grow my business, will grow yours as well. That's what referral marketing is all about.
GBN really is the most important marketing for your business. Check us out today. All right, welcome back to GBN Live. I'm Todd Cartner, your host, and I just want to thank our sponsor today, Grand Strand Law Group. You can reach them online at grandstrandlawgroup.com. They have offices in Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach, and they want to be your trusted choice. Please ask for any questions you may have for me or Lynn today, and we will try to get those on air. Make sure you give StreamYard our permission so that we can get your questions to where we can actually put them on air. And you can do that by going to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Lynn, before the break, we talked about all these different things in the process and whatnot, but I want to hear, is it safe for my pets, my kids, my plants, that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. So it is safe for people, pets, and plants in the application process. One of the things that got me interested in this product was that it is bio-certified by the USDA, bio-preferred actually. What that says is that at least 90% of this product is all natural from the farm. So we received that distinction. We're proud of it. So yes, you can feel good about that. And it also keeps waste out of landfills, because every year about 11 million tons of asphalt shingles, which remember are petroleum based, end up in landfills. They're dangerous if they leach into the water system. They're dangerous if you try to recycle them. You make shingle dust where they sort of chop it up. So again, it keeps waste out of landfills, and that was something that also appealed to me, because we only have so much space, right? And we want to make sure that we're doing the best we can, be good stewards with it. So I'm grateful to have a product that's good, that's earth friendly as well. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes a big difference. So we talked about that, you really can't do it in the rain, but you can do it right before or after rain or whatever. But does the temperature make a difference?
We'd like for it to be 41 degrees and rising. Okay. And typically we'll start the first one around 10 a.m. Just allow the dew to dry on the roof so that it can permeate as it should.
That's cool. So, so have you ever had somebody to say, when you put the product back on and it changes the color back to the normal, they say, wow, it's like a new roof? Or that kind of your response?
It is quite something. I did it on my roof first. I did it on my carriage house, and I did a test because I had black algae all over the roof of my carriage house and backyard. I live in a historic home, and so I did half rejuvenated and half not, and the half was black for about 4 to 6 months. That algae stayed on there, and then it was gone. It smothered it out. The oil it's heavy oil, and it will smother out that algae, lichen and moss. And now after about 8 months, I went back and covered the whole thing because I was tired of looking at it. But yeah, it's a great.
The other side that you didn't treat was jealous.
Correct.
So it
sad. It was
I want to look you again.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's it. So can we discuss costs a little bit? So
sure.
I know you said it was roughly 15 to 20% of a new roof.
Correct.
But some people don't know what a new roof costs, especially these days because they have gone up. But let's say I have an 1,800 square feet. How is that determined? Does it add cost to it if you have dormers or any of that kind of stuff? Different roof pitches.
Right. So if you think of it, we're a bit different from a traditional roofing in that they're looking at squares that they use. We're looking at the area of the roof. It's basically the same thing. They just say 100. They'll do. So if I say 63. They'll say 63 squares, and I'll say 6,300 square feet.
Right.
So the pitch, the steeper the pitch, the more area you're covering. Obviously, if you have a sort of a flat roof, there's not as much area. So if you say you have 1,000 square feet roof and you have a 5-pitch home, which is a low pitch, it's not going to be that much. But if you have a 12 pitch like this, it's a whole lot more area to cover. So it's a great question. And with that, typically if it's an average size home, you're looking at between $1,500 and $1,800 to replace a small roof or rejuvenate a small roof, and then it just goes up from there. I also offer simple financing through Synchrony Bank, and it is simple interest. If you're a well-qualified buyer, it's 18 months, 0% interest.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So, and I did that because I can remember being a 30-something. And struggling with how do I do this? How do I maintain that? First time home buyers, probably don't have $25,000 to replace their roof or more. So it gives them an opportunity to stave off that replacement for a longer period of time.
Yeah, that was one of my big questions was the financing, but you talked earlier about the warranty as well. So
yes.
What does that warranty cover, and how does that work? I think you said it was 5 years. Is that right?
It is 5 years, and you can, and if the roof qualifies for the rejuvenation, because not every roof does, if the roof qualifies for rejuvenation, it will cover it for 5 years. And if it's covered in that first 5, then in 5 years you can do it again. So it's not like we're going to say, okay, we'll do it now, but we won't do it in 5 years. So we'll continue to do that for up to 15 years. And we promise that it will maintain the flexibility, the suppleness like a newer roof. And that's pretty much what our guarantee is.
That's pretty cool.
It will help it to stay in place and
stay so
flexible.
you also work with multifamily. I gotta get my eyeglasses on here because I was not expecting this so fast because I'm getting old and can't remember, but it's time for rapid fire.
Okay.
So this is basically how we get to know you a little bit better.
Right,
so
super.
Just one word or little small sentence will be fine. But what was your first job?
Shoe salesman.
A what? A shoe salesman?
Yeah, first job.
I've never heard that one. That's a new one.
Yeah.
That's awesome though.
Yeah.
A night owl and early bird.
Early bird.
Yeah. Dog or a cat person? Wait a minute. I think you said earlier you have like 50 dogs. I put that number in there, but she said I have more than one, and that's all she would say.
That's it. Mum's the word. Yeah. I like both, actually. I really do. But after my last cat passed, I decided not to get another one because I have allergies, so dog person.
Yeah.
But dog and cat.
Yeah. Dark or milk chocolate?
Dark chocolate.
I think most women like dark chocolate.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Guys are milk chocolate. But favorite color?
Green.
Green. We don't get that one often, do we?
Yeah.
Favorite word or phrase?
Wow. Well, it's really more of a quote, but some people see things as they are and ask why. I see things as they're not and ask, why can't it be that way?
Awesome. I like that. Favorite movie or actor?
Probably fried green tomatoes.
Oh, there you go. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, do you remember Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Yes.
I think I saw something the other day that they just celebrated their 30th year. And I'm like, are you kidding me? 30 years? Wow. But anyway, favorite song or artist?
Wow. That's a tough one. I like a lot
Maybe
of
type of music?
Yes, I like kind of a folky storytelling kind of music. I really like Mumford and Sons.
Oh, I
and
love
like,
Mumford and Sons. I went and saw them in Charlotte. They
they're
were great
wonderful.
concerts.
Yeah, I love anything that has mandolin, violin. You know, like
Yeah.
I came from a musical family, but I don't play anything.
My heritage is Scottish,
Irish.
and so yeah,
I get it.
Mumford and
Irish.
Son fits right in with that.
Yeah, I love it.
Favorite vacation spot?
Well, the beach. Always.
I love the beach.
Yeah.
Or is there a mobile app that you use regularly that is like kind of your go-to, whether it's a weather app or inspirational app or anything like that?
Well, I look at Realtor all the time because I'm fascinated with architecture,
Oh,
and
nice.
I get notices of historic houses all over the place, and I'm like, I'm not buying, but I love to look.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine that is a photographer, and he goes around to all these old houses that are abandoned or run down, barns or whatever, and he takes pictures of those.
Yeah.
And he does a great. I mean, it's crazy at what we have out there that people just drive by and don't pay any attention to. So I'm an architect fan as well. So okay. So before rapid fire, we started talking about multifamily and commercial.
Right.
So you service those properties as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Do.
Do you know what kind of percentage of your business is residential versus commercial?
Smaller, because I don't typically focus on those folks. I may see something that's in need. It's a longer process usually.
Right.
Unless I go in to see the business owner, they're there and they can do it. It's a longer process. So,
right.
So a smaller percentage would be business. But
so let's talk about your
producer.
territory a little bit too.
Sure.
So my understanding before the show, we were talking about, was this a franchise or whatever, but you said you have a territory that you cover. What is that territory?
Correct. So I cover from Sumter, which is my home base, down to North Charleston, Summerville, over to Pawleys Island, and up to Conway. So I have a large swath of the area.
So I'm assuming Florence as well.
Florence.
How far north do you go?
I haven't really gone further north than Florence.
Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you want to get in touch with Lynn, you can reach her at 803-220-6824. That's 803-220-6824. Or you can go to her website, which has a bunch of pictures on it, too. And that is roofjuv.com, right? ROOFJUV.com. It's right there on the screen for you to take a look at. And you guys can visit that website and find a lot more information than even what we discussed today. So before we go, Lynn, can you tell us a little bit about what referral networking means to you? Is this the first group that you've been a part of for referral networking? And then specifically, what made you join GBN?
So when I visited GBN, I was invited by someone. I was looking for staffing, and I wandered into someone's office, and she had been a member since its inception. And she said, "You got to come to one of our meetings." And I went, and I was amazed by the breadth of knowledge that exists in that room. People who've been in business for themselves for years, newer people who are really great at social media and marketing.
Yeah.
Just such a wonderful, warm place. I can't imagine being with any other networking group, because they really do live the motto, friends first, business second. And that's tremendous. We have dinners together. We have meetings in the evening from time to time, just to get to know one another and meet each other's family. And it has been a blessing. It's tremendous networking.
Yeah, it is.
Agency.
And we appreciate those comments. Yeah. Just watch out for Tom Cutno, because can't believe anything he says.
That's my buddy.
He is the biggest South Carolina Gamecock fan in South Carolina.
Tom, we know it's Clemson. We know it's Clemson.
We know it's Clemson. He bleeds orange. You know, he got his finger cut one time and orange came out. So
Yes, absolutely.
just messing with you, Tom. So, well, Lynn, thanks so much for joining us today.
You.
We greatly appreciate it. And guys, if you need your roof taken care of, you know, and you even think about whether or not you need or what kind of shape it's in, give Lynn a call and I'll be glad. I'm sure she'll be glad to come out and take a look at it for you, because if you can expand that life of your roof, then you'll be able to save money in replacement and get more years out of it. So thanks so much for watching us. And Lynn, we'll talk to you again soon. Y'all guys have a great day.
Thank you.